What's up, guys? Let's go over what I learned at the Oneplus 5T event today and what I think of the phone. This is the new feature, is the full HD 1080p 6-inch 18:9 aspect ratio AMOLED screen. This thing is gorgeous, near bezel-less on the side. You know, you got a top bezel and a rear bottom bezel but there's very little bezels here. This phone is gorgeous. The screen pops, being 1080p, you don't notice anything. The screen is vibrant, colors are there, the quality's just perfect. Going to the rear of the phone, you have an aluminum body, you have a fingerprint sensor that now moves to the rear of the phone because of the near bezel-less design. You have a little bit of branding, it's all aluminum on the back, and that fingerprint sensor is only a fingerprint sensor. The power button is on the right hand side, so that's pretty cool. The rear camera setup that you got there is you got an f1.7 16 megapixel main lens that shoots 4K at 30 frames per second. Then you have the telephoto lens, which is 20 megapixels, f1.7 also. So they were able to create pretty cool effects with the depth effect without having a crop. Now, by not having a crop in, you can have a photo that you take and it's further away, so you can get more of the background blurred out, more of the background in the photo. It doesn't have to crop in like on the Samsungs and the iPhone 8 Plus or the iPhone X, because the same aperture on both lenses. From what I've seen on the cameras, very impressive. It's very low light, kind of weird lighting there. The depth effect worked pretty good for the most part. The rear main lens looked good, 4K video looked great. The front camera was unbelievable. For 16 megapixels on the front camera, records 1080p at 30 frames per second, but it takes sharp selfies. So here's a video of the screen. The screen is beautiful. It's just, you know, they did a great job. 1080p, everybody says, you know, there's gotta be 2K this screen. This screen is really nice. It looks good. The colors are there. And you know what, and it helps with the power efficiency, the battery efficiency on this thing. So you can, you know, you're not drawing as much power because of the screen, and the screen does everything you need it to do. I played around with it, had no issues with the screen whatsoever. I actually really liked it. In terms of everything else of the phone, like I said, right here, we're looking at the rear. The fingerprint sensor is super fast. Another feature they added this year for unlocking is face unlock, and it works quick, probably quicker than anyone I've used so far. May not be as secure, but for another way to open your phone, it works great. Right there, they got the slider. So now this is another feature they added where you got, just like the iPhone, but this one has do not disturb, ring, and it also has silent. So that's pretty cool, little feature that they added in. They also have a headphone jack on this phone. Obviously, a lot of places, a lot of companies are not putting out headphone jacks anymore. They had kept their headphone jack, so if you want to listen to your headphones, you have it on this phone. Hoping to get Android Oreo by early 2018, but they are running an open beta in December for the Android Oreo, so that's pretty cool. The Oxygen OS is, you know, near stock Android, obviously with a little bit of a skin. Even Google runs a little bit of a skin now with their Pixel phones, so it's not too bad. They add a little bit of a tweak to it, but this thing is fast. This right here is the 8 gigabyte of RAM, 120 gigabytes of storage model, and they have a 6 gigabyte, 64 gigabyte of onboard storage model. Both of them are super fast. This one right here obviously is the powerhouse of the two. Super fast, probably overkill for what they have, but it works great. It really does. Like I said, they got the face unlock. They added the new screen, the dual rear cameras, which are really good. Android Oreo by early 2018, they're hoping. It's got a, you know, single mono firing speaker, which from what I've seen wasn't that loud. You know, it is what it is with a mono firing speaker. Dual front facing speakers would have been, you know, really nice, but for the price point, you can't expect everything, and you get a lot in this phone for the price point. It's also, they have technology built into the screen for the sunlight display, so when you're out in sunlight, it's going to be able to get brighter, and you're going to be able to see the screen really nice. The camera, they also implemented some better low light. There's some technology for better low light, the f1.7 aperture and bigger pixels, so you should get better low light. I shot some low light videos. It looked really, really good. I shot 4K and I shot a 1080p one. They both look really good. You get a slew of options in the camera settings right there. You get video mode, photo mode, portrait mode, slow motion, pro mode, time lapse, and panorama. The pro mode is really, really nice in my opinion. I like the way that they do it. You have the white balance, the ISO, your shutter, your focus, and other thing. And you get the, a little graph up on the top, and then the way that it opens up right here on like a scale, a half moon scale. I like that a lot. I like the way they implemented that there. They have an HDR mode in their auto, where it's HDR, HQ, which is like a high quality mode, and then they have their own portrait mode right here. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't have to crop in because they both have f1.7 apertures on both lenses, the regular lens and the telephoto lens, so that gives you a better portrait shot. Here's a couple of photos that were just taken quick with the low light, but I'll throw some pictures in. I couldn't get them, so I had to take pictures of them because they didn't have SIM cards in them. So I'll add those in right about here, so you can take a look at those. So here's one of the rear camera, main 16 megapixel one. Really nice, clean. You can't really get the best quality out of them, but you're gonna see right here, this is me flipping through some of them. That's a portrait mode. Came out really good. And the low light, there's a front facing camera is good. 16 megapixels. It is really, really good. They also implement something called intelligent pixels, which is supposed to draw in more light and allow for better low light photos, which to me look like it's been working pretty good. They also worked hard on getting their electronic image stabilization working on 4K video. From what their samples showed, it works really good. I did shoot a couple videos with 4K, and I got one that I'll be posting, and I shook it around a little bit, but it's in low light and stuff, but it does look pretty good. I probably won't upload it in 4K, but you'll see the stabilization. It works really good. They've done a great job with this phone. So here's the 4K video sample. It looks really good. Stabilization is great on it. Obviously, I'm filming to the phone, so you can't get the best thing. Zoomed in there with the telephoto lens, but it is vibrant, really, really nice quality. So overall, the camera is really great. You have to do more testing when I pick up the phone. I should be getting late November 18th for an early order because I went to the event. Here's a couple photos of me and a couple guys and girls from YouTube that I met today. Really cool people. Let's go over another feature. The Oneplus is coming up with an app called the Oneplus Switch. So that should make switching to their phones pretty seamless. Your contacts, your call history, things like that. That app should be out the end of this year, including coming from iOS to help make the transition a little smoother. The price on this thing is going to be $499 for the 64 gigabyte variant and $559 for the 128. 128 comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM. The 64 comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So the price is a little bit higher than previous phones, but I think well worth it for what you're getting in this phone. It's feature packed, runs super smooth, probably almost as fast as the Google Pixels, if not faster. The cameras look great on this phone, and you get tons of other features. Full 1080p, AMOLED screen, 18:9 aspect ratio, headphone jack, dual cameras, portrait mode, intelligent pixel technology, electronic image stabilization on 4K, top specs, Snapdragon 835, 6 and 8 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of onboard storage, 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, plus Oxygen OS runs super fast. You get dash charging, so if the battery runs low, dash charging will, within, I think it's half hour or something, will give you a day worth of battery charge. In my opinion, this phone is a major go. So if you guys are interested in it, let me know. I might have a code to give away for $40 off, but leave comments in the comment section and let me know if you guys are interested. Hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.